think about it like if you have a girlfriend or if I have a guy friend that maybe the guy friend secretly likes me. And he's like, ooh, I don't like your boyfriend because he likes me.
I feel like this is probably a good venting place for you to tell the people why you were in tears. But it was so silly as to how this started.
No, it wasn't. This was not silly. Nobody's going to think this is silly. Parker was... No, I'm not even going to tell this because it's extremely dangerous. Welcome back to the Dating Diner to go.
We are outside.
We're in Kentucky.
And we are in a treehouse currently.
We're in Parker's backyard right now.
Yeah, kind of crazy. When I was a little bit younger, my parents thought it would be a great idea to build a treehouse and to put a zip line in our backyard. I know, super next level.
Yeah, there's a zip line like right here. You all can't see it, but I can.
It was a great childhood. And the only bad part is that we haven't ridden this zip line in years, and I really miss it.
I've ridden the zip line.
And what happened when you did?
I broke the zip line.
Yeah, that's why we haven't ridden it, because there isn't any breakers on it anymore. And Sarah obviously was going down at a lot of really high speeds, and boom, snapped the breakers. And guess what?
No more zip line.
No more zip line.
But we've been having a great summer here in Kentucky, so that's why we're on episode number 2 of Dating Diner to Go. We're not ready to go back to LA yet.
Yes, but we will soon. But until then, there's still so much knowledge to drop on y'all.
So much knowledge. And today we're talking about what to do in a situation where maybe your friends don't like your boyfriend, or your boyfriend doesn't like your friends, or your family.
See, all of this is very relatable for us.
Yeah, in the beginning of our relationship, a couple of my friends weren't the most fond of Parker.
You know, that's ridiculous, by the way, because one of these friends that's in question here, I literally bought her lunch. If I'm going to buy you lunch, then you should like me. Like, that's absolutely insane.
Well, I wasn't even referencing that person. That person's out of my life, which is what we're going to talk about today, is at what point, like, if your friends don't like your boyfriend, it's like, for what reasoning? And then at what point do you decide I keep the friend or I keep the boyfriend? Like, I had some friends that were a little bit iffy on you just because they weren't, like, used to your personality type. Like, you're very loud, you're out there, you're outgoing, and I think they were just a little bit thrown off because they weren't expecting that. But then I have another situation of a friend that didn't like you because they wanted the worst for me.
And that was the one that I paid for her lunch.
Exactly.
Right? See, that's so stupid, man. Like, I literally wasted $13 on her.
But it wasn't even that she didn't like you. It was that this is what today's episode is literally all about, because it's like you have to be able to decipher when you're in a relationship, like, is my friend looking out for me? Does she want the best for me? Or is my friend, like, trying to bring me down and, like, isolate me? And that friend was trying to bring me down because she saw, like, you and the life you were living and, like, how happy you made me and the things we did together, and she was jealous and she didn't like it. And so she was like, he's a bad boyfriend and he's emotionally unavailable and you should drop him because he's not right for you. And I was like, girl, you met him one time.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys can hear those little, like, bugs humming and hollering. Just comment down below if you can. But you said something really interesting. It's like, how do you know if a girl is really just out to get you?
Or a boy.
But I feel like girls have way more drama than guys, but we don't have to.
But think about it, like, if you have a girlfriend or if I have a guy friend that maybe the guy friend secretly likes me. And he's like, ooh, I don't like your boyfriend because he likes me.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but that just doesn't happen with guys like it does with girls. Girls have way more drama, and that's really not even an argument.
I mean, it happened.
Yes. Wait, what?
He didn't necessarily not like you, but, like...
What friend are you talking about? Yeah, but he's not my friend, so there's no drama.
No, he was my friend.
Right.
And he didn't like our relationship because he liked me. So he dropped me as a friend.
So, I mean, basically, I just don't think that my friends normally, once I started dating you or any sort of girl, my friends normally back off. They're like, you know what, this is her girl. I'm just not really going to speak on it. I feel like guys don't really talk drama like girls. If a guy doesn't like your girlfriend, most of the time he's not going to say anything. I see this with not even our relationship, just like other people's relationships.
Yeah, I think that is true. Like, guys don't really speak on it as much. Girls definitely speak their mind, though.
So girls are drama and guys aren't.
I mean, obviously, like, I think girls probably have more drama. But also, like, I do think in certain scenarios, like, girls are trying to look out for their friends. Like, in that scenario that we were talking about earlier, she absolutely was not looking out for me. She wanted bad things for me. But, like, my other friends, they were looking out for me. Like, I think they, like, saw you as just, like, sort of a wild card. Like, we lived 3,000 miles apart. Like, you're out in LA doing all these crazy things. I'm not there. Like, nobody here really knows you super well. And so I think for that, they were just kind of like, who is this guy that Sarah's just, like, found and started dating? And they, like, were, I guess, maybe kind of worried for me. But then, like, we had a conversation. This is where, you know, you have to take steps. You have to intercede. Because at a certain point...
It's a big word.
Intercede.
You've never used that before.
Intercept.
No way. The first time you try to use the word and you butcher it.
I don't know. All I'm saying is at a certain point, you have to realize, like, okay, my friends either don't like my boyfriend or my boyfriend doesn't like my friends. We got to mend the fences here. So I literally sat down my friends and I was like, okay, why do you not like Parker? What is the problem? Why are we having this issue? Because this was, like, after we already been dating for a few years.
But this is a bold conversation. I mean, sitting down your friends and telling them what they're doing wrong, that you got to have some serious gonads.
Exactly, because I cared about you and I also cared about my friends. I didn't want to lose either one. So I was like, we got to make this right. And they were like, you know what? Parker makes you happy. Like, we see that he brings out the best in you and you guys are really good together. And so, you know, moving forward, I'm going to, like, we'll be good. Everything's good.
You know, not that I'm a Love Island genius, but I feel like in that show, they always have conversations like this, you know, like
I'm
the girls
pull you for a chat.
Right. They have to have the conversation. But the difference is in the real world, the girls just suppress and bottle their emotions. And they're like, you know, I just hate this girl. And they talk behind each other's back. But I think it's good to have those conversations and, like, just, like, tell them what's up. Tell them where they're in the wrong. Tell them what they need to fix. So I think the world can be more like Love Island.
And also, if your friend really is looking out for you, if you come to them and say, this boy makes me happy, like, we are good together and he brings me joy. If they're really your friend and they're really looking out for you, they'll say, oh, well, that's what I want for you. And so if that's what he gives you, then I like him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just really trying to think about times that there's been, like, drama about maybe, like, my friends didn't wait a minute. No, yeah, I did have a story like this. There was this girl that I used to talk to, and all of my friends strongly disliked her. Like, my family disliked her, my friends, my best friends. Nobody wanted me to be with this girl, but I was so jaded by the fact that I thought she was attractive at the time. And so everybody was actually talking pretty bad about this girl. They were saying, you do not need to be with her. You need to get away from her. This is a girl that I've talked about in previous episodes where she shoved me and pushed me and called me names. And so, yes, my friends spoke up there, and I'm very glad that they did. But how do you, like, you know, intervene? Is that the word that you were using
But
earlier?
did you listen
Intercept.
to them, or, like, did you just, like, not, like, want to hear what they had to say?
I didn't want to hear what they had to say because, like I said, all I was thinking about was, like, oh, this girl's hot. I can do whatever I want to do. You know? So I was like, sure, we'll just do it. But I think that is a hard conversation when your friends don't like your significant other. How do you battle that? And that's why we're here. And I think most of the time your friends may not always be right, but your family is.
It's a different story when it comes to your family.
Right. When your family doesn't like them, which is a situation that I was dealing with too, then I think you should listen to them a lot more because your family really does have your best interest. Some of your friends, they want to stab you in the back.
Yeah, and friends, like, at the end of the day, no matter how close you are with somebody, like, younger people like drama. That's just how it is. They like to have drama. They like to have tea. They like to have somebody to talk about. But as you get older, like, that stuff kind of gets old. It kind of doesn't really, like, excite you anymore.
Yeah.
And especially, like, with your parents or your siblings or whatever, like, they're not trying to stab you in the back. They love you. They're your blood. Like, they want to see you succeed. They want to see you happy.
That's true, but some people have pretty bad family dynamics, and that's not always the case. And so maybe it's reversed for you. Maybe it's like, don't listen to your parents and then listen to, you know, your friends instead. But it's very difficult overcoming when your friends and family do not like your significant other, and especially when you like them. Because for us, if you listen to your friends, not family. But if you listen to your friends, then we wouldn't be here today with the Dating Diner podcast.
So what do you think you should do, like, if your parents are like, I don't like this guy for you?
I think you should really weigh out all the reasons why they don't like them, figure out why you like them, and try to get yourself out of that jaded mindset and thinking this person is perfect.
I would say like 99%, maybe 99 is not true. 90% of the time, if your parents don't like a person, it's because they're treating you bad. It's not because they're like, oh, I just don't like them. Like, it's because they're not right for you. They're not good for you.
Yeah, I don't even know if 99% is the best statistic there.
Well, I know. I said 90.
No, you said 90?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like low-key more like 70.
Really?
70. But then you have to look at the opposite side of it, which is what happens if your boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't like your family.
That's a rough one.
That makes it difficult because guess what? You got a wedding that comes up and then the family has to be in the wedding. They have to be involved in the wedding. I was just watching this video the other day of the girl that was getting married, and then the mom was in the audience.
Oh my gosh! And the bride was like, "I love you for all of your flaws," and the mom was like, "He doesn't have any flaws."
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What happens if there's some beef between the boyfriend, girlfriend, and the family?
Okay. Oh, this is hard because there are some like crazy moms out there. There are some crazy dads out there. Like, it doesn't always mean you're a bad like girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife because you don't like the other person's parents. Because there are some crazy parents.
Yeah.
But I first think you have to decide, is your significant other able to see those flaws in those parents? Because if they're not, if they're completely jaded to it and they can't see any of the issues that their parents have and they think that their parents are like perfect and they're not doing anything wrong, I hate to break it to you, but it's just, you're going to be teamed up against at all times. Like, if your husband isn't willing to stick up for you to your parents, then sorry, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and that guy in that video didn't not stick up. He kind of just sat there and went, oh.
That's a red flag. If your boyfriend or your husband can't see my mom's being crazy and I'm not going to stick up for my wife, then no, red flag, not going to work.
I mean, I want to hear from some of y'all listening to this podcast. Please tell us some of your craziest horror stories with parents of your boyfriend or girlfriend.
But what do you think?
The best way to handle the situation, if your boyfriend doesn't like your parents
or your girlfriend
or girlfriend, you should tell your parents to fix the problem first. Then if they don't fix the problem, I should tell your parents to fix the problem.
So you're saying you come to me and you say your parents are a problem.
Yes.
I go to my parents and I say you're a problem.
Yes.
They don't fix the problem.
Exactly.
Then you go to my parents.
I go to the parents and tell them.
Say you're a problem.
Which is a very hard conversation. But I think you can only really have that conversation if you're really farther down the line in a relationship.
Yeah, it's like a very recurring problem that's been going on for a long time.
Right. If you guys have only been dating for 6 months to a year, even 2 years, makes it difficult. I think the conversation happens when you're starting to talk about marriage.
I think it can I was literally just about to say it could happen a lot in marriage. Like, once you really start making big decisions on like buying a house, naming your children, like these big life decisions, and your parents just want to get involved.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, back off a little bit because this is our life.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it could get bad. It could get messy.
But that's big though. Family dynamics, like that is something that a lot of relationships break up about.
That is very true.
Because what you're saying is facts, you know, if the family's too involved in decisions, and now we're only dating, we don't have kids yet, we're not married, and so I think we don't have the best knowledge on this, but we've talked about it before. What if the family's too involved in baby names, right? Your mom wants us to name our kid John, my mom wants to name it Sam, and then we want to name our kid Michael.
But I think it always, at the end of the day, comes down to like, if my mom is telling you whatever, like, no, I don't like that name that you picked out. I want it to be this. If I'm not willing to say, Mom, this isn't your kid.
No.
This is our kid. Then I'm not a good wife. And same goes for like you. Like if your mom or dad was like, Sarah, I don't like that name that you've picked out. I want it to be this. And you weren't willing to say, Mom and Dad, this is our kid. This isn't your kid. Then I would say you're not being a good husband to me.
Yeah, you got to step up and say something. But although that could be a pretty good backup plan, if I really don't like the name and then you're still on board with it, if I call in backup and have the parents say that they don't like the name, maybe that would just like psychologically get you.
I just think like it all comes down to, in the relationship, you have to be willing to stick up for each other, because if people have something to say or like whatever, always be aware as if they're looking out for you. But if it's just little things like that, like picking out a name or whatever, it's not a little thing, but like you have to be willing to step up and say no.
You do, and that goes the same thing with what we were talking about earlier. If your parents don't like your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, tell them no. If you genuinely stand by that, no, I do like him, I like her, or whatever. I like this person, and you have to accept that. And some of the times that's the case. Now, I think it's hard for us to speak about some of these kind of things because we don't deal with it on a very deep level. I know some of you all out there do, and these are hard conversations and things are probably getting thrown around, but we're just seeing it from an outsider's perspective. We get it. We get that it's difficult. We hear you. You are understood, but hopefully some of the things that we're talking about is able to resonate and you can maybe take action on that.
Stick up for your boyfriend. Stick up for your girlfriend.
Facts. But there's so much more to talk about on this episode because families make things tricky. Some relationships literally cannot go on any longer because the parents are so toxic. So, what?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you were just very active listening, head nodding. Well, what I was trying to get at was, and this is big, this is very heavy hitting, but the major question here is, how involved should a family be in your relationship?
In your relationship?
In your relationship, in your marriage, right? Because these parents, they overstep boundaries.
I think that parents can be involved in like life decisions, but I think in the actual dynamics of your relationship, very little involvement. Like if you and I were to have a fight, I don't think we should bring it to anybody's parents, which is funny because recently we did have a fight and this was like the first time we ever brought it to his parents because I was like in tears and we were like hanging out with his parents. And so obviously like his dad noticed and then he was like, what's wrong? That was the first time we've ever brought something to your parents.
I feel like it's kind of hard to say that story and then not give context as to why you were in tears because people can just let their mind wander as to why you were in tears. I feel like this is probably a good venting place for you to tell the people why you were in tears.
I mean, we've already talked about this multiple times on the podcast. Like,
but it was so silly as to how this started.
No, it wasn't. This is not silly. Nobody's going to think this is silly. Parker was... No, I'm not even going to tell this because it's extremely dangerous what you were doing.
Okay, tell me if I'm tell me if I'm out of place right now.
Mom told you that she would move you out of LA if you continued to do, like, it's extremely dangerous.
I understand that it is dangerous, but I know that there's an audience out here. I know there's a niche amount of people that are about to be with me here. I was driving the car, okay? We were going to the lake, and guess how I was driving the car, okay? Steering wheel is right here, pedals down here. I was in cruise control, and it's automated cruise control, so if there is a car in front of us, it slows down. So I was like, all right, no need for me to brake. I'm just going to steer.
No, that's not safe or okay at all.
I know that it's maybe not safe, but there's people out there who do this. I know.
I don't care.
They do.
It doesn't make it okay.
But this is where the argument started because I was like, I can drive like this.
No, you can't. Parker's the most stubborn person I've ever met in my life. I said, put your feet down. We're going to get in an accident. And he was being so stubborn.
Also, we weren't on a freeway or anything. We were on a 2-lane highway. Highway, freeway are different. Right?
I don't care. I literally don't care if we were on your street. It's not safe. I said, put your feet down. And he was being stubborn because he likes to be stubborn. And then I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, but where I can say that I was in the wrong, I will say this. I don't see as much of a problem maybe with doing that. Like in hindsight, yes, it's better to just have your feet on the wheel or on the pedals. Where I was in the wrong, you told me that you felt unsafe in the car and I should have listened and I should have reacted and said, all right, I'm sorry. That would have been the better way for me to have shut down the conversation rather than me saying, staying on my high horse. I can sit however I want to sit. That's where the problem evolved into something way worse. It could have stopped within a minute and then it would have been over. But
my whole point is, like, when it comes to fights, when it comes to figuring things out, like, it's not for your parents to figure out. It's not for my parents to figure out. It's for us to figure out. And I don't think that bringing that one to your parents was the worst thing, because it was a fight. It was like a recurring fight. It was like the reaction to the, like, argument that always explodes us, like, into a bigger argument. And that's been a recurring thing. So I think maybe if you have a recurring argument, it's not bad to get an outside perspective to try to figure it out. But as a whole, your parents shouldn't be involved in problems or really, like, much at all.
Although,
what do you think?
Well, although I think it is kind of helpful to have I think this is the right word, mediator. Yes, that. Sometimes it's very helpful. And in this scenario, yes, it was helpful. But, I think a lot of parents should probably take a step out of the relationship because they're a little bit too involved. And that can literally put your relationship in the ditch because your family's so involved.
Well, how involved do you think?
I think we're at a good balance, with our own personal relationship. I think my family is involved, maybe a little bit too much.
What?
But you think?
What, like, in what way?
So you don't think they're involved too much?
I'm asking in what way?
Well, maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm really hesitating here because I don't even know if I really do stand by that. But maybe I think the reason why I even bring it up in the first place is because you spend more time with my family than I spend with your family. Granted, we live in Los Angeles, so we don't even see our families that much in the first place. Unfortunately, I wish we did more. And so I think that's kind of why I say maybe they're a little too involved because we hang out a lot. But they're not involved in, like, the day-to-day. Like,
no.
We're all hanging out, but they don't understand a lot of the dynamics of our relationship. And I think that's a healthy place.
I mean, do you really think your parents are too involved?
No. And I kind of just said this, but I was thinking about a story where I think sometimes if anybody's, again, not involved, and it's funny because my mom watches this, but my mom is always trying, and this is great, like, I'm so glad that she does, but she's always trying to help out when it comes to date ideas or, trips that we should go on or what I should get you. And what I should get you, that part really helps. Like, the gift part really helps. But it's so funny, like, literally 2 days ago, we were coming up on our 3 years, right? And my mom, I was like, what should we do for our 3 years? And this isn't too involved at all. I think it's more so just a funny story about, like, my mom and involved in our relationship. I was like, what should we do for our 3 years? And she was like, oh, you should take her to St. Bart's for the weekend. And I don't know if you guys know what St. Bart's is, but, like, it's a pretty expensive place.
Just for the weekend?
Yeah, like, it's a pretty expensive place. Like, the flights to get there are not cheap, like several $1,000s. And then, like, hotels, like, this is like where billionaires hang out. Hotels
That's so funny.
Like $5,000 a night. And I was like, oh, that's not. That was a fake laugh. Was that not funny?
No.
It wasn't funny?
I don't know.
Oh, but you can't admit that you just had a fake laugh there?
No.
Oh. Do you guys think she had a fake laugh?
No.
Oh. Anyways, do we have anything else to share on this episode? I don't know about the fake laugh. I mean, you did totally fake laugh there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then give me an example of your real laugh versus fake laugh.
I can't just real laugh.
Okay. How did Burger King get Dairy Queen pregnant?
Bruh, it's not gonna make me laugh. No. Stop.
Okay, there's the real laugh. Now give me a fake laugh. See? Compare the two. I'm pretty sure that was a fake laugh after I told that story. We don't have to get into that. But is there anything else we want to share? Because I think we've dropped a lot of knowledge bombs.
I mean, I definitely apologize because I feel like this episode is kind of like jumping all over the place. But, it's all important stuff that we need to keep in mind when we're in a relationship. So.
100%. I agree. It's been a lot of fun. We're super happy that you guys keep coming back every single Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. And nothing?
We love you.
I thought you were going to be like, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, we'll see you next week.
Yes. We will see you next Friday. Peace out. Until next time.
Bye.